It's time for the Brew and Shavers Sports Podcast.
We welcome back to the show Doug the Buckeye with a collection of this week's insights from a Big Ten mind.
Hey, it's Doug the Buckeye coming to you once again from the heart of Big 12 country, or is it Big 8 country, or I guess it's SEC country here in a couple weeks. Who knows? But I'm back again to help keep Ben and Darren on the straight and narrow. Yeah. I get the point. SEC has all these championships. I get it. I understand. But it's kind of like saying, well, you know what? Walmart sold more stuff on Friday than Target. Well, Walmart has a lot more stores than Target. And the SEC has historically had more teams than Big Ten and other conferences. So that's something to be considered. Ben had to bring up 2007. You know what? I remember 2007. And I remember LSU had a coach that inherited a team from a certain Nick Saban. And this coach was a slimy coach who, during the Alamo Bowl, when Ohio State was kicking his butt, his bags were already packed for Baton Rouge. I mean, Les Miles is the type of guy, you shake his hand, you feel like you got to wash your own hands. So I don't consider any win under Les Miles to be legitimate because I just think he's a slimy coach. So on to talking about my morning, not time of day, but mourning the loss, 3 in a row, to that cheating team up north. Yep. It could be time for Ryan Day to find another job. And it could be time for the Buckeyes to find another coach. You know, you really are measured by that game. And that's the game that you got to win because it's called the game. Can't lose 3 in a row. You can't get $10.3 million a year or $10.7 million a year and lose 3 in a row. We were too close. Honestly, the game kind of ended up how I thought it ended up. We've got a young team, young quarterback. Ryan didn't really push the envelope, I don't think. We didn't target Marvin Harrison enough. And it ended up how it ended up. I would have liked to have about 4 more plays or 3 more plays. I think we could have won. But it is what it is. Ohio State's got a blemish on its record. Now, the Big Ten's only got 4 teams in the top 4. Or they'll probably end up with only 4, or not 4 teams. 1 team in the top 4. So, we got 4 unbeatens, and as much as I hate to say it, you got 4 different conferences recognized in that top 4. As of this week, we got some more games to play. I'm not opposed to having the 4 unbeatens to be the 4 in the playoff slots. Ohio State didn't get it done, so that's how it is. Still love the Big Ten. Still love the Buckeyes. And I'm still hoping that they'll have a better year next year. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. And as always, go Buckeyes.
When he said, I'm still hoping and paused, I was kind of readying myself for, Harbaugh gets lost on the way to the stadium, like disappears completely. Something I was waiting for a wish of Harbaugh just going away or something.
That just made me sad. I don't want to even argue with Doug this week because it's obvious his heart is broken over that game.
Very much so.
I feel like if I criticize anything, that's just pouring it on cruel and adding to his misery. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person that kicks someone while they're down.
Exactly.
So I'm going to step out of this, Darren, and I'll let you address anything you want to address with him because I just feel like he needs a hug.
And I agree with that. And I will say, honestly, I don't have many points that I think can be argued. I don't know about the whole Target Walmart. It doesn't really matter how many more Walmarts there are. you still, if you've got them side by side, Target is the championship franchise, so that's where you're going to go. So I don't know that comparison really works the way that, or at least as an SEC person, I don't know that I get it. Let me say that. And trying to be nice. The thing I will agree with that I found very interesting is the conversation about the Final Four and what that looks like for the playoff. There could be some nightmare scenarios where if Georgia loses, if Oregon loses, if Michigan loses, if there could be some, and I say some nightmares for the playoff committee, not necessarily for football fans, because it creates a lot of what's going to happen next. But even if none of that happens and it kind of plays out the way it looks like it's going to, 4 undefeated teams from 4 different conferences makes for the potential for a pretty interesting playoff. So I definitely agree with that point from Doug. When you look at what that could look like, that has the potential to be some pretty exciting stuff. So I definitely agree with that point. And Doug, as a Vanderbilt fan who has taken the kicking in the teeth from Tennessee year after year after year, I'm on board completely with Ben. I would just like to offer you across the internet waves a hug and say I'm sorry that you are in the state of mourning you are in because of that loss. I empathize. I feel your pain.
Doug, not to minimize how you're feeling right now, but I want you to count your blessings. And top of that list is you're not an Auburn fan this week.
That's exactly right.
I don't know what it is. Ryan Day is a stellar coach when you look at his record. But the way, and I think Doug made a great point. If you're not familiar with Ohio State, don't miss the point that he made. This is the game that matters. All those other teams,
Absolutely.
they expect, the Ohio State fans expect the team to win all those other games. So, yeah, they celebrate on one hand, but it's all expected. The game that they will measure you by is how did you do against Michigan? John Cooper years ago learned that lesson the hard way, and Ryan Day is, despite an incredible record, is feeling that right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's similar to what we've seen here in the SEC. The first thing that comes to my mind is prior to the years where Alabama had some drop off before Nick Saban came to town, coming off the Bear Bryant years with Alabama, it doesn't matter who the coach was. The number one criteria to find a new coach was, can he be connected to the Bear in one way or the other? And then number two, what's his record against Auburn once he's there? And, Bill Curry had a great tenure at Alabama and lost 2 out of 3 times to Auburn and was sent packing. I mean, they couldn't have waved to him any harder getting him out of the door. The exact same thing. That's the game you are judged by. So, yeah, you're right. That's a great point that shouldn't be lost, that when you look at Ryan Day and everything he's done at Ohio State, just like Doug, there are still people talking about, is it time for him to move on? He can't win this game.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yep.
Thanks, Doug, for coming on, even though you're going through such a rough time right now. And
that's right.
Our thoughts and prayers with you, our friends.
Very much so.
Please subscribe to the channel. We'd like to get up to 50 subscribers in the next couple of weeks. You could help us out by doing that. Just click the subscribe button, tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your cousins, tell your coworkers to subscribe, even if they don't even watch football. Like and comment on episodes. If you like what we said, give us a like. Just click that like button. Comment if there's something that you agree with, disagree with, or something that we missed. Call us out on it. Remember, new episodes for the duration of this college football season, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days a week. Thank you for coming along with us. Until next time, y'all take care.